Are you enjoying the game today too? Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are jumping into a time machine, setting the dial for 1989, and looking at a Famicom game that was, well, it was genuinely years ahead of its time.
It really was.
A chaotic, brilliant, genre-bending title called Keru Naguuru.
Or, to give its full name, Tenkaichi Bushi, Keru Naguuru, world's #1 warrior.
And our mission today is to figure out just why this game is seen as such a pioneer. Because it's not your typical 8-bit adventure, is it?
Not at all. It's this incredible hybrid.
Yeah.
It takes the deep exploration and character growth of an RPG, the grinding, the learning, and it grafts it directly onto a one-on-one versus fighting game.
That is a huge concept for 1989. We're talking about the Famicom in its mature phase, and Namco, using their Namco brand, was really swinging for the fences here.
And it was all led by the legendary Masahiro Endo.
The designer behind Xevious and the Tower of Druaga.
The very same. And his core idea, his philosophy, is really the key to the whole thing. He believed victory shouldn't just come from quick reflexes.
Not from button mashing.
Exactly. Victory had to be earned. Through intellect, through persistence, and through the actual permanent growth of your character. You have to master the world to master the fight.
So the RPG part isn't just filler, it's the training montage.
That's a perfect way to put it, yeah. And think about how radical that was. Most fighting games, you pick your character, you have all your moves. Here, the only way you can even compete is by building your fighter up from scratch.
And they crammed all of this onto a Famicom cartridge.
A 1.5 megabit ROM, released July 21st, 1989, developed by Game Studio. And they used every last bite of that space for the world and, as we'll get into, for some of the smoothest animation on the system.
I remember just being blown away by the scope of it, but if you want the mission statement, you just have to look at the TV commercial.
Yeah, the catchphrase was perfect.
Keru Naguuru de Kere Nago.
Which is just, with Keru Naguuru, kick, punch.
Simple as that.
And the title itself is a classic Namco pun. It's the action kicking and punching. But it's also a nod to a character from the anime Sengoku Majin Goshogun.
So the game itself is split right down the middle then. 2 modes.
2 core modes. First, you've got your Ties mode, the Versus mode.
Right, the payoff.
That's where you can pick from 15 pre-made fighters, or, and this is the entire point of the game, you import the custom character you painstakingly built in the other mode.
And that other mode is the Shugi mode, the training mode.
That's the main adventure, the RPG. You start as a nobody, leave your house, and go on this massive quest to become the Tenkaichi Bushi.
It's such a great hook because it makes all that time you spend leveling up feel so validated. You're not just watching a number go up, you're forging a weapon you can use against your friends.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about the start of that training mode. Because it doesn't ease you in, does it?
Oh, not at all. You start with 10 HP, barely anything. You move incredibly slowly, and you have one attack.
Just one.
A single weak punch. You are completely defenseless.
And that's on purpose.
It has to be. It's the game's way of teaching you. It forces you to engage with the world to survive. Growth here isn't just stats. It's gaining actual options. New moves.
So you're basically on a quest for techniques. How many are there to find?
There are 14 techniques in total. You've got different kicks, a slide, a jump, and of course the all-important Qigong projectile. Your only ranged attack.
And you get these from temples and hermits.
4 temples and a bunch of different Senin hermits or immortals who are scattered all over the map. You have to complete challenges for them.
And this is where the game gets its, let's say, its reputation for being a bit ridiculous.
Ah, yes, the suffering.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the inventory system.
Yeah, okay, lay on us.
The player can only hold 1 item.
Wait, say that again?
1 single item at a time.
You're kidding me. That's not a bug, that's a feature.
That is the central mechanic that drives the entire game. It turns training into what sources call Pashiri high-stakes errand running.
Why? Isn't that just lazy design? Forcing you to run back and forth across a huge map just seems like padding.
I see that point, but the pain is the lesson. Because you can only hold one thing. Every single choice matters. You're constantly playing this straw millionaire game.
Where you trade one thing for a slightly better thing.
Exactly. But now imagine doing that when you have to walk halfway across the continent for each trade. And that one item is the only thing you're carrying. You have to protect it with your life.
So every item becomes this precious thing you've invested hours into.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the hermits ask for the most absurd stuff. One of them won't teach you a low kick until you bring him a special stone because he wants to brush his teeth with it.
You're making that up.
I am not. The logistics of the fetch quests are the puzzle.
And then there are the bandits, the Senzoku.
Right, and they patrol all the areas off the main roads, and they scale with your strength, so they're always a threat.
So what happens if they beat you?
This is the genius, chaotic part. They don't just send you home. They steal the one precious item you're carrying. Yes. So if you're on step 4 of a 6-step item chain, and a bandit gets you, you're back to step 1. All that progress, just gone.
That is wonderfully sadistic. It makes you appreciate every single move you finally learn because you know the risk you took to get it.
It totally validates the whole concept. You have to get strong just to survive the journey to get strong.
Okay, so after all that chaos and pain, you finally have a fighter. Let's talk about the actual fighting system.
Right, let's step into the ring. Because this is where the game was truly 2 years ahead of Street Fighter II.
What did it do that was so innovative?
The controls, first and foremost.
Oh.
There are no complex joystick motions.
Yeah.
No quarter circles, no charge moves. Everything. Every single attack is done with the A button.
Just the A button? How is that possible with 14 different techniques?
Because the game is a secret command interpreter. It looks at your stance, standing, crouching, jumping. It looks at the exact distance, the Mei, to your opponent. And it checks which skills you've actually learned.
So it's reading the context of the fight to decide which move you want to do.
Yes. It's genius. It keeps your mind on timing and position, not on memorizing inputs.
That is incredibly smart for a Famicom game.
And this focus on position led to another huge innovation. Advanced hitboxes.
You mean, where you hit them actually matters?
It matters a lot.
What?
A hit to the head does significantly more damage than a hit to the body.
Location-specific damage on the Famicom. That feels like something from a much later era. It's like fighter's history or something.
It absolutely anticipates those ideas.
Right.
And then there's defense. No guard
So
button.
you just have to dodge.
Pretty much. Your defense is all about managing your spacing, moving out of the way. If you do get hit while standing still, you take reduced damage, like a block. But if you're caught in the middle of a move, full damage.
And I read that hits don't cause knockback or stuns.
Correct. No dizzy states, no endless combos. It keeps the fight balanced and totally focused on tactics and timing, not on who can trap who in a corner.
That all sounds amazing from a technical standpoint. But they had to make a compromise somewhere, right? The graphics.
Ah, yes. The visual compromise. You have 76 possible fighters in the game.
And they all look exactly the same.
They all share the exact same character sprite. The only thing that changes is the color of their clothes.
That sounds boring.
It sounds it, but it was the most brilliant decision they could have made.
Yeah.
By saving all that memory on character sprites, they poured everything into the animation.
So they chose motion fidelity over visual variety.
Exactly. The game moves with the smoothness and weight that almost no other Famicom action game could match. People say it anticipates the fluid feel of 3D fighters, like Namco's own Tekken series.
Wow. And that leads to this really fascinating metagame with customizing your fighter, doesn't it?
It does, because players figured out that learning all 14 moves wasn't actually the best strategy.
How so?
Well, some of the later moves you learn have these long, flashy animations. And because the move selection is automatic, sometimes that new, slow move might override an older, faster, more useful move in certain situations.
Yeah, the smart play was to deliberately not learn some moves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could build a faster, more effective fighter by strategically limiting your own moveset. You might skip the big projectile attack just to make sure you always have your quick, close-range kicks available.
You are curating your own limitations for maximum effect. That is an incredible level of depth.
It really is.
And beyond the mechanics, the world itself is just packed with that signature Namco humor. A lot of it is that kind of man's eye, back and forth commie style.
Oh, the whole world is a giant joke. The developers were clearly having a blast. You could even name your character after other Namco games like Xevious or Druaga.
But my favorite thing is how they were making fun of the entire RPG genre at the time.
And the sound design by Yoshiyuki Onogi really helps sell that atmosphere. It's so minimal. 4 music tracks, that's it. Title, field, battle, and credits.
And only 2 main sound effects, right?
Oh for an attack, gah for getting hit. It's so simple, but it creates this perfect, almost comedic martial arts vibe.
But the parodies of other games are the real deep cuts. They're all these items lifted straight from Dragon Quest.
The Statue of Evil God, the Staff of Change, and that whole item chain that ends with you getting the Gaia's something or other.
Right. But the best one has to be the graveyard joke.
the nested parody. Okay, so Link's adventure had a grave for Roto from Dragon Quest.
Then Final Fantasy I had a grave for Link.
And Keru Naguuru finishes the joke by having a grave for Fiamil.
The main character from Final Fantasy II, that's a joke that requires you to be a hardcore fan of like 3 different franchises to even understand it.
Next level stuff.
But we have to talk about one final chaotic element, the conversation system that can just stop your game cold.
The dialogue. So in every other game, A button advances text, right?
Of course.
Well, in Keru Naguuru, A is yes and B is no. But sometimes, to move a conversation forward, when there isn't a question, you have to press B.
The no button.
The no button. So if you're just mashing A like a normal person, you can get stuck in a dialogue loop for hours without realizing you're doing anything wrong.
That is just evil. Pure evil.
It's the ultimate figure-it-out-yourself design.
But if you survive all that, the errand running, the bandits, the dialogue traps, you get to face the final boss.
Right, Tyler.
The hidden final boss. The original world's #1 warrior.
And he only shows up once you hit the max HP of 999 and get the special travel cloud, the Kintown.
So you have to be completely maxed out. What's he like?
He is the final exam. Your HP maxes out at 999. His internal HP is 3,000.
3,000?
And he knows almost every move in the game. It's a true test of skill and endurance. A battle of pure attrition.
So when you look at the whole package, what's the big takeaway? The game's legacy.
I think it proves that this idea of deep, meaningful character growth could be perfectly integrated into a competitive fighting game. It was doing the esports progression loop, leveling up a character to compete, decades before that was a common concept.
The painful struggle really was the game.
It was, mastering the systems, choosing your moves, building your own unique fighter. That's the core of it. It's a key part of understanding how Japanese game design was evolving.
It's incredible. To think that the frustration of carrying one stupid rock across the map, terrified of a bandit, directly translates into a tactical advantage in a fight against your friend. It turns all that laborious work into a badge of honor.
Exactly. You didn't just win a fight by being good at the fight. You won by proving you mastered the entire world.
And that, I think, is why this strange, chaotic, brilliant Famicom game is still worth talking about today. It was a true pioneer. Will the game be fun tomorrow, too? Have a nice game.